We came to Salalah after the Khareef season had already ended, expecting dry mountains and empty waterfalls. But what we discovered was a quieter, more peaceful side of dhofar that few people talk about. Our first stop was Ain Sahalnooth, an enchanting oasis located just a short drive from Salalah city. At first glance, many people casually refer to this as a spring, but the landscape here is shaped by something far more fascinating. Over thousands of years, mineral-rich water has shaped these surroundings, forming unusual limestone deposits known as dhofar. The result is a collection of bulbous rock formations, layered textures, and small natural caves that give the oasis its distinctive character. Beyond its beauty, this place carries deep historical significance. For generations, the spring has served as a vital water source for local communities. Archaeological evidence suggests that people have lived in this area for thousands of years, drawn by the reliability of this oasis. While the Khareef season brings dramatic transformation, the months that follow offer a different kind of beauty. The landscape remains green and refreshed, but with clearer skies and improved visibility, making it an ideal time for photography and exploration. As the morning sunlight touched the water, we noticed something beautiful. From above, the pool looked crystal clear, but from the side it glowed with a soft turquoise shade. Even without the dramatic Khareef waterfall flowing over the cliffs, the place still feels magical. The biodiversity here is remarkable. The lush vegetation surrounding the water creates the perfect habitats for birds, and we spotted dozens of weaver bird nests hanging delicately from the branches. In many ways, it felt less like a tourist spot and more like a hidden bird sanctuary, quietly thriving within the mountains. Thanks to its elevation and proximity to the ocean, the climate here stays relatively mild throughout the year, making Ain Sahalnooth not just a seasonal attraction, but a favorite hangout spot for locals and visitors alike. From there, we continued toward Ain Razat. The moment we stepped out of the car, the sound of flowing water surrounded us. Green mountains rose on every side, while tiny streams trickled gently down the slopes, like faint echoes of the powerful waterfalls that must roar here during the peak of Khareef. Even with the monsoon clouds lifting, the place felt deeply alive. Here the water doesn't simply gather into the pools, it flows into a traditional fallout system that has supported local farms for generations. It's a reminder that these springs are not just scenic attractions, they have been the lifeblood of this region for centuries. Walking through the manicured gardens and quiet pathways, we found a sense of stillness that would probably be impossible during the busy Khareef rush. The caves behind the spring added to the peaceful atmosphere, making this one of the most calming stops on our journey. Next, we made our way into the mountains towards Ain Tobrouk. Compared to the larger sites, Ain Tobrouk felt smaller and far more intimate. It has a more structured, park-like feel. Water from the mountains flowed gently into a shallow channels where visitors sat soaking their feet. Locals believe these waters have healing properties, and even under the post-Khareef sun, the cool flow felt incredibly refreshing. Then came an unexpected surprise. A delicate waterfall still cascaded quietly down the cliffside. It wasn't the massive roaring waterfall you'd expect during August. Instead, it appeared like a delicate silver stream flowing gently through the rocks, almost as if the mountains were still holding on to the last memories of the monsoon. Continuing our journey, we reached Ain Sahalnooth. Near the entrance, small streams crossed the roads. But the mountains ahead initially appeared dry. At first glance, it almost felt like the famous waterfall had completely disappeared. But as we walked deeper into the forest, we found it. Instead of the powerful wall of white water seen during the peak of Khareef, the waterfall had transformed into a delicate mist-like streams tracing their way down the rock face, almost like a fading bridal veil. And strangely, seeing it this way revealed something beautiful. Without the heavy water covering the cliffs, we could finally notice the intricate textures and patterns of the limestone beneath. It felt less like watching a waterfall and more like seeing the mountain behind the mask. Around us, food stalls and restaurants that normally serve thousands of tourists stood closed for the season. If you're visiting during this time, it's a good idea to carry your own snacks and water. Even without the dramatic waterfalls, the forest canopy here remains so thick and green that it's easy to forget you're standing in the Arabian Peninsula. Our final stop was Wadi Darbat, the most iconic destination during the Khareef season. If Ain Razat feels like the quiet soul of dhofar, Wadi Darbat is its wild heart. During peak monsoon, this entire landscape transforms. Dry valleys turn into lush green fields fed by constant drizzle and flowing wadis. The famous Darbat waterfall becomes the crown jewel of the region. But when we arrived, that dramatic vertical rush of water was gone. And yet this place was still breathtaking. The mountains remained incredibly green, and a beautiful wadi continued flowing gently below them. It felt like the landscape was slowly exhaling after months of rain. Around us stood empty hut-like structures, decorated stalls, and activity counters waiting for tourists who had already stopped coming. The massive parking areas hinted at the crowds this place must hold during peak season. Luckily, the boatmen were still operating, and we enjoyed a peaceful ride through the calm waters. Post rides were available too, and despite the season being over, Wadi Darbat still felt like the perfect place for a relaxed family picnic, surrounded by nature. Somewhere between these springs and waterfalls, we stumbled upon a breathtaking valley viewpoint. To be honest, I'm still not entirely sure of its name. After looking it up later, I believe this might be Arthur Hill, but I could be wrong. The view itself felt like a discovery. If any of you recognize this location, please let me know in the comment section. I would like to learn more about it. We also had an unexpected moment. We spotted a herd of camels running below the flyover. It almost looked like a practice race. Camel racing is an important part of the local culture here, and it was interesting to witness a small glimpse of it during our drive through dhofar. We came looking for waterfalls, but we found something else, the quiet resilience of nature as it catches its breath. Salalah after the Khareef is not a lesser version of itself. It's simply a different kind of beauty. Fewer crowds, calmer surroundings, and the rare feeling of having these landscapes almost to yourself. To wrap up today's video, if you're planning a post-Khareef trip, you can cross Ain Sahalnooth off your list and put your time and energy into the other places, as they are absolutely worth visiting long after the monsoon rains are gone. While these locations are spread across different parts of the region, most can still be comfortably explored over a scenic day trip or two depending on your itinerary. During our visit, entry to all these places was free, though some activities like boating and horse rides had separate charges. Most of these locations were also easily accessible by a normal sedan, with no four-wheel drive required.